Welcome to Recap King. In this video, we will explain Bounty Hunters. This movie tells the story of two young men who want to become a bodyguard to earn money. But unfortunately, they became suspects in the bombing case because they were caught on CCTV during the explosion. Luckily at that time, they met a group of bounty hunters who were investigating the bombing case. They finally joined the group because of their unintentional involvement. Did they manage to catch the suspect in the bombing case? Let's find out in Bounty Hunters. Bounty Hunters begins by showing a woman riding a motorcycle to a hotel called A in Tokyo with a package in her hand. But apparently, the contents of the package were a cake planted with a bomb. Before leaving on her motorbike, she placed the bomb in one of the hotel rooms and detonated it. The scene then moves to Hong Kong, where two former Interpol officers, Swan and Hallyu, work as bodyguards for a fighter. The fighter was holding a post-match press conference when a reporter accused him of disrespecting his recently defeated opponent. Offended by the reporter's accusation, the fighter then beats her up, making the situation chaotic. Hallyu immediately called his partner, Swan, who was fast asleep, and told him to come help to stop the commotion. Swan then entered the conference room just as the fighter was about to throw a punch at the reporter. But maybe because Swan was still not fully awake from his sleep, he instead slammed the fighter, the person he was supposed to be guarding against. Swan's mistake clearly made Hallyu angry, to the point that he slapped Swan's head. But it's too late. They were both fired for that one fatal mistake. A few days later, Hallyu is still angry with Swan, but he responds casually as if he doesn't really care. Luckily, as they drive, Hallyu gets a call from Sam, who offers them a job to be his client's bodyguard. Then, Hallyu and Swan go to Hotel A in Incheon, Korea, to meet Sam's client. But when Hallyu, Swan, and Sam were chatting while waiting for Sam's client to arrive, Sam got a text message from his client telling them to enter room number 2003. But to his surprise, when they entered the room in question, Sam got a call from his client, and his client claims to have never sent a text message or told him to enter 2003's room. That means someone has set the three of them up. The client then told Sam to go out immediately if he found the cake box in the room, because it contained a bomb that was about to explode. Sure enough, there was a box of cakes in the room, half of which Hallyu had eaten. Without wasting time, Sam immediately asked Hallyu and Swan to leave. But when they were in the car park, they were attacked by a group of people, who then kidnapped Sam. Hallyu and Swan did not stay silent. They immediately tried to chase after the kidnappers' cars. And in the middle of the chase, they finally saw an explosion at Hotel A. The bomb inside the cake had been activated. As if it couldn't worsen, a red car with two women suddenly appeared, and they were chasing the kidnappers' car. The woman who drives, named Katie, known as Wonder Woman Cat, is a martial arts expert. Meanwhile, the woman sitting in the passenger seat is Swan, a hacker. They are bounty hunters who are on a mission to catch the terrorist responsible for the bombing, and they wanted Sam because he was a valuable informant to them. They didn't even hesitate to get rid of Swan and Hallyu to do so. After chasing for a while, Swan finally managed to stop the kidnapper's car, but still has to face Katie, who is still determined to save Sam. They do fight, however, giving the kidnappers a chance to escape. Swan reflexively tried to run after them. But unexpectedly, when he was approaching the kidnapper's car, it suddenly exploded, killing everyone in it, including Sam. Swan fainted after being thrown by the explosion. Likewise with Hallyu, he was unconscious after Katie electrocuted him. Swan and Hallyu finally wake up tied up in Katie and Swan's base. The two women were in front of them when they woke up, accompanied by a large man named Bao Bao, Katie's assistant. They then explain their mission and goals to Swan and Hallyu and how they have managed to get information about the terrorists they are targeting. Knowing that Swan and Hallyu are former Interpol, and because Sam the informant has died, Katie and Swan then invite them to work together to catch the terrorists. Swan and Hallyu had no other choice but to accept the offer. CCTV footage showing them at the crime scene before the blasting took place has been broadcast on TV, and they have now officially become suspects in the hotel bombing. After that, they all discussed and gathered clues that could lead them to their target. And one of the clues they got was about the person who made the bomb, Dumupa, now in Thailand. In addition, Swan and Hallyu remembered that before Sam's death, he had told them that he wanted to meet someone named Swan in Thailand. They then went to Thailand using Katie's private plane with these two clues. Arriving in Bangkok, they searched until they finally found a surprising fact. It turned out that Swan was not a person's name but the name of a restaurant. And behind the restaurant, there is Hotel A, which stands majestically. Hotel A does have branches in several countries, and they believe Hotel A in Bangkok is the target of the next terrorist bombing. Because of that, Swan immediately hacked the CCTV at Hotel A. And through the CCTV, they found a man with suspicious movements. That man is Dumupa. Swan and Katie went straight to Dumupa in his room without thinking twice. But then, he became suspicious when he saw Swan and Katie suddenly come to the front of his room. So he went straight back into his room and tried to shoot them both from behind the closed door. But moments later, Swan and Katie managed to sneak into the room, and a hand-to-hand fight between Swan and Dumupa ensued. Swan finally won the fight, who then saw that there were many cake boxes in the room. Wasting no more time, he directly interrogated Dumupa, and it was here that some things finally came to light. It turns out that Dumupa is a client of Sam who asks to be protected by Swan and Yo. He was forced to make bombs for terrorists because they threatened to harm his girlfriend if he refused. And because he plans to report the terrorist, he hires the services of Swan and Yo to be his bodyguards. Realizing Swan's identity, Dumupa then orders Swan and Katie to leave immediately because the bomb in the hotel is about to explode. He had told them that the mastermind behind the bombing was May, a special instructor for the SSG. But before he could say where they could find May, he realized the necklace the terrorist had put around his neck was about to explode. So he ran away from them, and then the bomb went off, killing him instantly. Katie was clearly dissatisfied with what they got, and she wanted to find some additional information in the room. But Swan realizes they don't have time to do that because the bomb in the room is about to explode. So he grabbed her, and they both jumped out the window just before the bomb went off. Fortunately, even though they dove from the top floor, they managed to land right in the pool. While all this was happening, a man holding a detonator in his hand appeared to be observing Hotel A from a distance. Sometime later, Swan starts looking for clues about May. It turns out that she is the right-hand man of the terrorist leader. And what's even more surprising is that she works at Hotel A. In addition, Swan gets information that May will visit Hotel A on Jeju Island. Without further ado, they flew to Jeju Island. Incidentally, Katie had a base there, and the base is filled with various weapons and special equipment that can help them in their mission, such as bulletproof jackets, hairspray bottles filled with bombs, and electric guns. After that, the search for information continued. The team divided into two groups, Swan and Bao Bao trying to investigate Hotel A, while Swan, Katie, and Yo spy on May, who came to a suspicious building. It turned out to be a building used to store bombs. So after May left, the three of them immediately interrogated May's subordinate who was on duty there, Yan Shen. But apparently, he was not alone in the building. He opened the closed door at the end of the room, revealing dozens of his friends behind it, and they are all ready to beat Swan and others. All those thugs, however, were no match for Katie. She can beat them all easily by breaking the sprinklers on the building's ceiling. And after they were all soaked, she fired her stun gun and electrocuted them all, including Yo and Swan. After successfully securing the bombs there, the three took Yan Shen to their headquarters and interrogated him. But not long after, a person who claimed to be named Tommy arrived. He calmly introduced himself as the terrorist responsible for the recent bomb attacks and even told them about his next bombing plan. Tommy apparently didn't come alone. After speaking, May and some of her men suddenly entered the room and showed that they had captured Swan. Therefore, Tommy put forward a condition. If Katie and the others want Swan to be freed, they must return Yan Shen and the bombs they've stolen. The scene then shifts to Hotel A, where Katie arrives alone to save Swan. But Tommy puts an additional condition: if she wants Swan to be free, she must swallow a poisoned pill. To that end, Tommy demonstrated what she should do by making Yan Shen a guinea pig. Tommy showed Yan Shen two kinds of pills. The red pill was poison, and the blue pill was the antidote. He then forced him to swallow the red pill, and after that, he dropped the blue pill from the top of the building. So, if Yan Shen still wanted to live, he had to hurry to find the blue pill. Meanwhile, outside the hotel, Swan and Yo listened to the conversation between Tommy and Katie through a bug. Realizing things are getting worse for Katie, Swan finally decides to follow her inside. But just as he walked a few steps, something fell from above and hit Yo's head. It turned out to be the blue pill Tommy had just dropped. Katie had now taken the red pill, and just like before, Tommy threw the blue pill out of the hotel. But she didn't bother running downstairs like Yan Shen because Swan had already come with the blue pills. After giving Katie a blue pill, Swan told her to look for Swan while he fought against Tommy's men. However, the unequal fight didn't last long, as a moment later, Yo came in with a gun, allowing them to escape from the hotel. Katie managed to find Swan and took her away from the hotel by car. But earlier, Tommy had put a bomb on her neck, and unfortunately, Katie couldn't get the bomb off. Tommy chased them from behind, forcing Katie to speed away from him. Because after all, he can still activate the bomb on Swan's neck with a detonator if they are close enough. The fierce chase between them continued, until finally, Swan appeared from the opposite direction, and he then gave a bottle to Katie. After that, Swan positioned his car right in the middle of the road to block the way for Tommy. But May, who was driving Tommy's car, didn't care. She accelerated the car and hit Swan's car until it was crushed. Not wanting his target to escape, Tommy got out of the car and repeatedly pressed the bomb trigger button as he ran. And shortly after, he was smiling triumphantly as a huge explosion could be seen in the distance, thinking he had killed both Swan and Katie at once. But Tommy's guess turned out to be wrong. Katie and Swan are still alive. The explosion didn't come from the bomb around Swan's neck but from the bottle that Swan gave to Katie. It was the hairspray bottle that had been in Katie's base earlier. The scene then switches to Tommy, who is visiting the director of Hotel A. And this is where the reason for Tommy's actions is finally revealed. It turns out that he is the son of the founder of the hotel franchise. However, he really hates his father for two reasons. First, his father had the heart to leave his mother when she was dying just to attend the opening of a new hotel. And secondly, after his mother died, his father gave the directorship to someone else instead of him, which only made his heart hurt even more. So that's why he decided to blow up the hotels owned by his father, because after all, as a child, he liked to watch fireworks with his parents. But fortunately, Swan and his friends still haven't given up on thwarting Tommy's efforts. They regrouped and consolidated their plans to prevent the bombing of Hotel A on Jeju Island. So, they enter Tommy's room at the hotel to look for the bombs, of course with the help of Swan, who hijacks the hotel's security system from their base. They could find the bombs they were looking for, and then brought them to the hotel roof. Their plan, however, did not go smoothly. Tommy suddenly calls and informs them that he has taken Swan a hostage at their base. As if that wasn't enough, he said that he would detonate the bombs they were now carrying. But to his surprise, nothing happened after Tommy pressed the bomb's trigger. It turned out that Swan and the others had anticipated this. They had installed a device that could disrupt the signal waves in Swan's necklace. Before Tommy realized what was wrong, Swan, Bao Bao, and Katie rushed back to their base. Only Yo stayed at the hotel because he had other plans to ask his friends, who were none other than Yan Shen and his gang of thugs, to fly the bombs using lanterns. It turned out that when Yan Shen's life was in danger, and he desperately needed the blue pill, Yo gave the blue pill he found to him. And since then, they have become friends. Meanwhile, when Swan and the others arrived in front of their base, they decided to split up. Katie and Bao Bao sneak inside to save Swan, while Swan himself has to fight May first. Without any significant difficulty, he was able to subdue her. But when Swan enters the base, he finds that Tommy has destroyed the jamming device on Swan's necklace. They have all given up now. There was nothing more they could do to prevent him from activating the bomb. Moreover, Bao Bao had swallowed the red pill from him. Since nothing else could stop him, Tommy pressed the button to trigger the bomb. But what he didn't know was that the bombs had been floating high in the sky. So when he activated them, the bombs hit nothing. People below thought the bombs were extremely beautiful fireworks. On the other hand, the sight made Tommy angry. Since he had nothing left, he then threatened to throw away the blue pill that Bao Bao needed. Fortunately, Swan managed to defeat Tommy and snatch the blue pill, thus saving Bao Bao's life. At the end of the film, Swan, Katie, Yo, Swan, and Bao Bao are shown on a new mission to save the penguins at the North Pole. But then, they realize that penguins only exist at the South Pole. The moral that can be learned from this movie is, to be careful if you find a suspicious cake inside the hotel named A. It could be that the cake has a bomb attached to it. Come to think of it, the hotel's name is already suspicious.